Hi guys, it's Arielle. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. I hope you're all doing well. Today's video is a little different because instead of telling you how you can avoid scams in Paris, I'm actually going to go out and try and get scammed myself. I have always felt like I receive different treatment from restaurant staff when I'm out speaking English with my American friends versus when I'm out on a date with Jean and we're speaking in French. And it was about this time 2 years ago when my sister visited me from Canada. While I was working, she went to the Champ de Mars to, of course, admire the Eiffel Tower, and then she went for lunch at a cute cafe nearby. She was scammed and came home livid. Le Parisien, a French newspaper, recently did their own experiment and caught restaurants red-handed scamming tourists. I was inspired by this and, of course, by my sister Sorrows to run my own experiment. So I called up my friend Bonnie and I asked her if she'd be my tourist accomplice to see if we really would get scammed. The experiment is simple. Jean, my French boyfriend, will go ahead of us and get a table alone for lunch. He'll speak to the waiters in French and play the part of the average Parisian. Bonnie and I will follow, sitting at a separate table and play the part of American tourists. We'll all order the same thing and compare our experiences and bill at the end. All of this with the goal of seeing if we'd be treated the same as Jean in these restaurants. Now, I really wanted to sell my character as tourist in Paris, so in order to play the part of scammable tourist, I have to look the part, and there's no better place to do some shopping than at Montmartre. €4? That's such a good deal. I like this. We have to find an I Love Paris t-shirt. Bonjour. This is so cute. This is the vision I have for Bonnie. Okay, let's start with berets. I want one for me and one for Bonnie. Do I get 2 red with red lipstick? Or do I get 1 red and 1 pink? That's so obnoxious. Okay, let's get the t-shirt.
Alors, mademoiselle.
J'aimerais juste prendre le taille M, s'il vous plaît.
C'est la blanc?
Ouais, celui-là. Let's look at the tote bags. That's pretty cute. I think we're ready to get scammed. And just like that, baguette and Longchamp in hand, I headed to the Champ de Mars right in front of the Eiffel Tower to meet Bonnie and get ready for our experiment. Okay, I'm so excited. Let's get our berets on. Okay, so I got this for you.
Oh, that's so cute.
Okay, which one do you want?
I think it's the red one and then the pink one match.
Sure.
Yeah. You look like a painter.
Bonnie, I promise you I'm making you look cute, okay? Okay, I feel like that's not bad. Jean, what do you think? The bags? Jean, I don't know if I can do this.
Is it, is it alright?
Oh my god! Attends, my outfit's not complete. Okay, good. While these tote bags are great for this video because we are far more likely to get scammed by these restaurants if we have all of our belongings in an I Love Paris tote bag, they definitely do make us huge targets for pickpockets that are looking to take advantage of vulnerable tourists. Now, as Arielle out of character, I do have to say that when you're traveling to a city like Paris or in Europe in general, I really recommend swapping the tote bag for an anti-theft bag from the amazing sponsor of today's video, PackSafe. PackSafe bags are thoughtfully designed to protect your belongings and give you peace of mind while you travel. What may look like a simple, sleek bag to an untrained eye is actually packed with anti-theft technologies. I love my PackSafe W 10-liter anti-theft backpack. It is the perfect travel companion. I feel safe knowing that the front of the bag is protected with an exo mesh slash guard and the secure zip tabs, plus the hidden zip clip will keep pickpockets out of my bag. One of my favorite features is the turn lock security clip that allows me to secure my bag when I'm out at a restaurant or cafe. As someone who's seen on several occasions tourists having their bags snatched up by thieves while they're out for lunch, this is a true lifesaver. This bag is absolutely perfect for travel with an RFID blocking pocket that fits your passport and wallet to prevent digital theft. There's also a separate 13-inch laptop compartment, which makes going through security checkpoints at the airports a breeze. Now, an extra bonus specific to Paris is that this bag exactly meets the requirements for bags that are allowed into many French museums and monuments, such as the Louvre, Versailles, and the Musée d'Orsay, meaning that you won't have any trouble getting into these places and exploring with your PackSafe. I can't recommend PackSafe bags enough. They are the perfect bag for keeping your belongings safe and giving you true peace of mind when you travel. Click the link below to check out all their bags with anti-theft technologies and use the code Arielle10 at the checkout to get 10% off. Thank you again to PackSafe for keeping my belongings safe and for sponsoring today's video. Now let's get back to it. So once we were ready to go, we headed towards the restaurants around the Eiffel Tower that typically draw in a lot of tourists because of the view and the location. Jean went head first because honestly, we were a little worried that they would refuse to seat him since he was eating solo and they would probably prefer to fill their tables with tourists that they could scam. But once we saw that he was in, Bonnie and I followed. We took a look at the menu and both ordered a Coke to drink. The waitress immediately asked us if we wanted a size small, medium, or large. I was completely unprepared for this question, so we both just ordered a size small. In hindsight though, I kind of wish that I'd ordered a different size to catch the scam. I also asked the waitress if we could have some water, to which she asked what size, and I just said, well, small? And when she brought out a tiny water bottle, I asked for more water because we're 2 people, and so she swapped out the tiny bottle for a 500ml bottle instead. Jean and I agreed in advance to order the same thing for lunch so that we could compare bills later on, so I ordered a croque monsieur, and you can see that Jean's meal looks almost the same as mine. We asked the very handsome man next to us to take our picture, paid the bill, and left. I'm still shaking from that whole experience, so Bonnie and I will go first. Bonnie, you have the receipt? Okay. We ordered Cokes and water. I just said, can I have some water? And the bottle of water was €8 and our Cokes were €6 each. Now I want to take a second to explain just how terrible this scam is. When it comes to the Coke, like you saw in the video, we ordered a size small, which is this size, 330 milliliters. The restaurant charges €6 or 7 USD or 9 Canadian dollars and 50 cents. Fine. On their menu, they also list a size medium, which is this size, 500 milliliters. For this size, the restaurant charges €9.50 or 11 USD or 15 Canadian dollars. But the real kicker is that they offer a size large on their menu, which is this size, 1 liter. This is €19 or 22 USD or 30 Canadian dollars. What I also need to mention about the large size is they don't even list this as a size large. They just list it as soda au choix, soda of choice, with in tiny fine print 100 centiliters, which is equal to 1 liter. So if you're looking at the menu, you don't even know that the large size Coke is this price. And what makes this scam so diabolical is that they are clearly taking advantage of tourists who in their home countries like Canada or the US are very used to being able to ordering their drinks in a size small, medium, or large. And in the US, in Canada, when you order a size large, you expect it to be maybe $1 or $2 more than a size small or than a size medium, but you don't expect it to be $20 more than a size small. When I look back at the footage of us doing the receipt debrief, I'm so annoyed at myself because I don't look more irritated by this scam, but that's because I went into this video and this experience and this restaurant knowing that I would be scammed. So I wasn't shocked in the moment, but in hindsight, looking at these different sizes, looking at the menu, looking at the prices, I'm outraged for the tourists that they're scamming with these different sizes. Then I got a croque monsieur for $14.50. Bonnie got a crepe for $11. Yeah, so our total bill was €45.50. And when I handed her my card, she actually didn't ask for a tip. She just said, how much? And I didn't really answer, I didn't know what to say. She's like, how much? And I said, oh yeah, whatever's there. So she definitely had an opening to ask me for a tip or to put a tip herself because she had the machine in her hand. I just tapped my card. But she actually didn't scam me out of a tip, okay? She didn't automatically put one, and she didn't ask me for one outright. So I thought that was interesting. Okay, let's hear Jean's experience.
For me, I asked for the same thing as you, a croque monsieur. I asked for water. Est-ce que je peux avoir de l'eau? And a Coke. So they didn't ask me for the size of the Coke. They just gave me a can. So it was also €6. and my water was free. My bill is 20 and 50 cents, 20 euros and 50 cents. But they didn't ask for anything. She just give me the thing with the good total. So for me, there was no possible scam.
Okay, so I actually forgot one more thing is Bonnie noticed this. The table beside us were French people. They were also 2 people and they asked for water in the same way that we did. And instead of being brought a bottle of water that cost 8 euros, they were actually brought a carafe d'eau. And Bonnie slyly took a picture so I can show you. But definitely it was only the tourists that were having to pay for water. And I'll also add the food was terrible. I think that was probably the worst meal I've ever had in Paris. We are going to test and see if another cafe treats us the same. So our search for scams continued as we set off to grab coffee and dessert from another cafe. This one right across the street from where my sister first got scammed. We decided all together in advance that we would order a water, a coffee, and ice cream. Shout out to Jean for going along with this experiment because he actually hates coffee. And just like the first restaurant, Jean went off to sit solo, and once he was seated, Bonnie and I followed. Oddly enough, the same handsome man from the first restaurant seemed to be following us. We skimmed the menu, but since we'd agreed in advance what we were going to order, we just went straight for it when the waiter asked us. Except when we asked for coffee, he asked us if we'd like our coffees iced, and it was so hot out that I just thought, why not? And just like the first restaurant, he asked us if we wanted a small, medium, or large. And this time, I took the medium while Bonnie and Jean took the small. We all also asked for water, and this time the waiter actually brought us out 2 glasses of free tap water. I was happily surprised and was thinking to myself, wow, too bad we won't get scammed at this restaurant. It won't really make for a good video. But just you wait. So I'm looking at our bills. I have Jean's and mine. My iced coffee, which was only a tiny bit bigger than Bonnie's for real, was 14 euros. And Bonnie's coffee, which was a small, was 7 euros and 50 cents. And then we ordered 2 scoops of ice cream, which was 8 euros and 90 cents. Once again, we need to talk about these prices. Looking back, this is truly, once again, insane. Why is this insane? Because they don't list the price of an iced coffee on their menu. So you have no idea what the price is before you order it. They do have the price of a coffee listed on their menu, which is 6 euros and 50 cents. They also have listed that if you order a size medium in any of their hot drinks, it's an additional 3 euros. Fine, at least that's clear. But once again, they don't have the price listed for the iced coffee that they offered. And so they decided to charge us 7 euros and 50 cents for that iced coffee, which is expensive, but it's not outrageous. What is outrageous is that the medium iced coffee was 14 euros. If we're following their logic of a 3 euro supplement, it should have been 9 euros and 50 cents. So once again, because they don't list the price, you have no idea what you're going to end up paying. They could literally put any number they want on your bill, and you can't really contest it because you've already consumed the beverage. And I just want to emphasize how outrageous this pricing is, because the medium iced coffee that I got was 14 euros, which is equal to 17 USD or 22 Canadian dollars. How many large ice caps can you buy for that price? Many. So it is just really psychotic. It's diabolical how they are gouging tourists at these restaurants. And I don't know the legislation around this. I don't know. I can't imagine that it would be legal to not list the prices for what you're offering to customers. Maybe they have it written inside the restaurant. Maybe they have it posted inside the restaurant. I wouldn't know because we sat on the terrace and it certainly wasn't on the menu that we were handed. But then when he brought us the payment terminal, he asked us if we wanted to add something extra. And I was like, oh, well, what do you normally add in France? And he was like, oh, I don't know, 5 euros. So I was like, yeah, go ahead, add 5 euros, no problem. So our bill ended up being 30 euros and 40 cents, 5 euro tip. What about you, Jean? Tell us about your experience.
For me, I asked coffee with milk, and he proposed like you to have an iced coffee. So I say yes, but he didn't ask me for the size, so I think I have the same size as Bonnie, so the same price. When it was the moment to pay, he asked me the total on the bill and just add the total on the machine, so I just pay my total bill without any tip. He didn't ask me if I want to tip, but I think he just asked the tourists, the strangers, the not French people to tips. He take advantage of the tourists to add more on the bill because they don't know that in French you don't usually tip.
And on that note, actually, both establishments asked if I wanted to add something extra.
But I think here he forced you more to add a tip.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Here, definitely.
I do believe it's a small scam. Because if you are French, you speak French, he didn't ask for a tip.
Yeah.
And if you are a stranger, a tourist,
Yeah.
I think he forced you to add a tip.
Oh, for sure. For sure. Definitely. And in France, the tipping culture is pretty much non-existent. If you have excellent service, then you might leave 1 or 2 euros on the table. But it's not like in the US or in Canada where systematically you leave between 15 and 20% of the bill as a tip. And I think evidence of that is that they don't just hand you the payment terminal where you select a percentage. They have to manually add on what you want to give as a tip. So, voilà. Living in Paris for 5 years, I really did think that I'd seen it all when it comes to scams, but it's nice to know that restaurants are doing their part. I hope that by sharing my experience and showing you these different restaurant scams that you feel better equipped for your upcoming trips to the city. And I hope you enjoyed today's video. You'll have to let me know down below if you want me to try restaurants in other areas like Montmartre or Le Marais. And if you're looking for more of my guides, you can check out my website, arielleinparis.com. A huge thank you to Paxay for sponsoring today's video. I really do think that their bags are invaluable. They will make your experience traveling not only better, but safer. So make sure you check them out with the link down below. I hope you guys have a great weekend, and I'll see you in the next video.